Monza was expected to be another highlight in McLaren's growing championship fight, a race designed to showcase the speed and talent of their young stars, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. But instead of unity and dominance, the Italian Grand Prix descended into controversy, sparking internal conflict and exposing cracks in McLaren's carefully built foundation. What should have been a celebration of their strength turned into a storm of tension and mistrust. A slow pit stop for Norris, a flawless drive from Piastri, and a single, controversial team order over the radio changed everything. In that moment, Piastri, running second on track and holding a critical position in the championship fight, was instructed to move aside for his teammate. The order not only shifted the outcome of the race, but also set fire to a debate that has now become the center of Formula One's attention. What happened behind the closed doors of McLaren's motorhome after the race wasn't just a routine debrief. It was a confrontation that may alter the trajectory of the season. Reports quickly surfaced that Piastri and his manager, former F1 driver Mark Webber, engaged in heated discussions with McLaren's senior management, pushing back firmly against the controversial decision. Their stance was unambiguous. Oscar Piastri's title challenge must not be sacrificed for the sake of team strategy. This message has thrown McLaren's leadership into the spotlight, with fans, pundits, and rival teams questioning whether the British outfit is still operating as a united force, or whether Monza was the trigger for an internal civil war that could derail their championship campaign. Before diving deeper into the fiery aftermath of Monza, make sure you're subscribed, because what unfolds in the coming weeks could redefine McLaren's championship story, and you won't want to miss the twists ahead. At the heart of this controversy is a single, devastating decision: McLaren's order for Piastri to surrender second place to Norris. On the surface, it appeared to be a tactical correction, a way to compensate Norris for the time lost during his botched pit stop. But in reality, the call struck a nerve far deeper. This wasn't simply about one car overtaking another. It was about fairness, trust, and the integrity of McLaren's entire approach to their championship campaign. For Piastri, Monza should have been a breakthrough moment. He had executed everything to perfection, staying clean under pressure, delivering sharp pace, nailing the strategy, and positioning himself in second place against some of the toughest competition on the grid. His drive was a statement. He could fight wheel to wheel with the best and prove he's no longer just a rising star, but a genuine title contender. Yet, with one radio message, it felt like all of that hard work had been undone. The young Australian complied with the order in the moment, showing respect to the team, but that compliance left scars. Behind the scenes, Piastri's frustration has boiled over, and for the first time, it's no longer hidden. His manager Mark Webber, a veteran of F1 politics and a man who knows the pitfalls of team dynamics better than most, has openly criticized the call. In his media comments, Webber did not mince words, labeling the team order a grave mistake. He warned that McLaren was risking its internal unity by choosing to favor one driver over the other. These weren't just emotional words spoken in anger. They were strategic. Webber understands how dangerous mishandling team rivalries can be. He lived through the Red Bull years, where Sebastian Vettel and he himself clashed over favoritism and team priorities. He's seen Ferrari torn apart by divided loyalties, and Mercedes nearly implode during the Hamilton-Rosberg era despite winning championships. His warning to McLaren was simple. History repeats itself if lessons aren't learned, and if the team keeps mishandling these delicate situations, they could lose more than just a race. They could lose their chance at the championship and even fracture their future stability. Piastri himself has been measured in his public comments, but his frustration is clear. He admitted to filing an internal protest, formally demanding clarity from the team about their approach to the title fight moving forward. His request is straightforward but powerful: do not interfere with my championship battle. That declaration is more than just a complaint. It is a challenge to McLaren's leadership. It marks a turning point in how Piastri sees himself. No longer just a rookie grateful for opportunities, he is now a title contender, and he expects to be treated like one. Meanwhile, Norris has publicly defended the team's decision. He argued that McLaren had pre-race agreements in place and insisted that he would have returned the favor had the situation been reversed. His words were an attempt to pour water on the fire, but instead, they raised further doubts. Can fans and rivals really trust that such agreements will always be honored? Formula One history suggests otherwise. When the stakes rise and championships are on the line, team orders rarely smooth things over. They almost always spark deeper rivalries. The wider F1 paddock has not stayed silent either. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff bluntly questioned McLaren's judgment, warning that they had made a choice that could prove nearly impossible to reverse. His point was sharp. Once you establish a precedent of correcting mistakes with team orders, every future decision becomes suspect. The drivers lose confidence in the fairness of the system, and credibility evaporates. Former drivers and commentators have echoed that sentiment. David Coulthard described the Monza outcome as manipulated, a word that carries toxic weight in Formula One. Fans tune in to see raw, unpredictable racing, not orchestrated position swaps dictated by strategy boards and radios. Once manipulation enters the narrative, the legitimacy of results is undermined, and the very essence of competition is questioned. This is why Monza matters so much. It's not simply about a single race or a single order. It's about the seeds of rivalry now planted within McLaren. The tension between Piastri and Norris has the potential to grow into a bitter feud reminiscent of the Hamilton-Rosberg battle at Mercedes, a rivalry that brought both glory and chaos in equal measure. The looming question is whether McLaren's leadership is capable of handling such internal conflict without tearing the team apart. Piastri, for now, insists that he won't take a ruthless approach that could jeopardize his long-term future. His maturity has been striking, especially when compared with how some young drivers might react in similar circumstances. But patience always has limits. If he continues to feel undervalued or repeatedly sacrificed, how long before he begins to explore other options? Could Monza 2025 go down in history as the moment McLaren alienated one of the brightest talents of this generation? On the other side, Norris may feel justified in the short term, but his reputation also faces risks. If he becomes seen as the favored driver, every one of his victories will carry an asterisk in the eyes of fans and rivals. Was it earned on merit, or was it handed to him by team orders? That kind of perception can be damaging to even the most talented drivers, shaping legacies in ways that statistics never reveal. Ultimately, the burden now lies with McLaren's leadership. They must answer the toughest question of all. Do they allow their drivers to fight freely, letting the championship unfold naturally, or do they continue to intervene in the name of protecting the team's interests? It is a razor-thin balance, and Monza may have already tipped the scales in the wrong direction. So, is this the spark that ignites McLaren's internal civil war? Or will Monza be remembered as the painful but necessary lesson that forced the team to redefine its values and strategy? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. The next chapter could determine not only the outcome of the championship, but also McLaren's long-term legacy in Formula One. What do you think? Was McLaren right to enforce that controversial order, or did they sabotage their own future in one fateful call? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest F1 updates as this drama continues to unfold.